For the visitors, the shed over the next 90 minutes will be us working on a tool that I put together. This month's all about getting a bit creative with your marketing, because I think sometimes the kind of flaccid summer months just allows us to lose a little bit of focus. And over that time, things may have changed as well since you last put plan to paper. So I thought that would be a useful thing to check in on. We're going to take a quick run through the compost heap and the shed wall, and then we'll end up with the strategy circle where you can plan your month ahead with some really focused growth actions. That's kind of the shape of it. It's all very relaxed. You are very welcome to ask questions, comment, or heckle at any given moment. Members do. So that shouldn't just be a member benefit. That is also open to visitors. So we're going to crack on. Has everyone got their Building Your Marketing Paths worksheet in front of their eyeballs? Jolly good. Vic's got a finger up. Yes, is that a yes, Vic? Great stuff. All right. So on the back of that worksheet or on a notebook, somewhere that's not the front of the worksheet, I would like you to start off by drawing a life-size lemon. For those who are artistically challenged, which is most of us, it's an oval with two bibbly bits, technical term, on either end. You can give it a bit of kind of dotty acne if you so wish, but just the outline will suffice. And then we're just going to get ourselves a little bit creatively warmed up, because maybe swap colour of pen or pencil if you have. It's not critical though. I mean, you just now look at that lemon afresh and turn it into something else. Draw it into something else. Could be something recognizable, could be something you invent. Doesn't matter. It's just 40 seconds, a few scribbles, couple of lines, whatever strikes you.
I'm sorry, where do we draw it? I'm not sure.
Anywhere you want, back of the worksheet
Okay,
or
sorry.
on a post-it note. Yeah, whatever you've got to hand.
Thank you.
Okay, anybody want to show me their lemon? There's a line I didn't think I'd say in polite company. Well, we've got to get some focus going on there, Vic. Nice. There's a kind of Mohican lemon from Glen. Oh, I like it. I like it. Very nice. Good stuff. Good stuff. Right, so a little bit kind of warmed up now, I hope. We're going to be looking at building your marketing path. As I said, I think sometimes we kind of just churn on, do the thing we think we're going to do the thing that we've done before, and it's always good, even if you have quite a robust marketing plan, to just check in and find out what's going on and come up with some fresh ideas, because as much as our marketing works, it can get stale both for yourself and your audience. So I put it all on one page because it doesn't need to be any more complicated than this at its very essence. I'm going to talk through the worksheet. Feel free to start jotting down ideas and thoughts, and then I'm going to give you some time, and I shut up and you crack on and do sort of 10 minutes on it on your own to start the thinking, which you can then carry on after the shed if you find it's useful for you at this moment. Okay, so the row across the top, check in with your marketing focus / create a marketing focus right now for the next 4 months. Okay, some of you will be like, I know exactly what I'm going to market for every month until the end of the year. Other people will be like, so both are equally valid. So for the rest of September, what do you need to focus on marketing? What's the one thing? I mean, we all want to market everything in our business all the time. That is not possible unless you're sitting on kind of Brewster's Millions. So we need to just be focused and strategic about what we want to look at in terms of our marketing. Doesn't mean you can't market other things, but what specific thing are you looking to market? So, for example, I have put September, the shed, because it's visitor VIP month. October, my focus has got to be the startup shed, because that begins in Jan. November, apologies, I'm going to mention the C word. The Christmas Advent, slightly sick in my mouth. And December, I'll be looking at strategic sessions for January. Okay, super simple. That's my marketing plan. Okay, in the box underneath on the left is a very in-depth audience analysis tool. Here we go. It's 4 questions. Stuff that happens in your world. What do you want to sell? So we're going to take one of those things you focused on. You might want to look at your October marketing focus. Okay, so I've put in there startup shed. I don't know what I'm doing for my marketing yet next month for October, so I'm going to put that in. Underneath that, who do you most want to sell it to? I most want to sell the startup sheds to creative businesses and new starters, new business people. Okay, so that goes in the box there. Keeping it super simple. Just have you can have lots of different people, but just focus on 1 or 2. So that's your world. That's where you're at with your marketing desires. Next to that is their world. So what is their stuck point? These creative businesses that I want to market to, why are they stuck? So for me, they're in overwhelm. They've started a business. They suddenly realize they've got 3 trillion things they should know how to do, and they don't know how and what to do first. And also they're getting a lot of bland advice that doesn't really fit with their vibe. Okay, so identify the thing that's keeping them stuck where they are. So what's the trigger to take action? So let's not forget that we can be stuck in a place as a potential customer for a long time. I can sit on a very uncomfortable office chair for 9 months and not go out and buy one. I need the trigger to push me over the edge to take action. We're all infinitely lazy as consumers, and if we can put up with it, we probably bloody will. So to be able to identify the trigger in your audience, to move from we really need to get a copywriter to do some better blogs because we need to kind of start engaging people, to okay, I'm going to go out and find myself one, or living with a brand that you really despise can go on for years. We've all seen it. Just because they know their problem doesn't mean they're going to act on it. So what is the trigger? Because you want to get in there. You want to be like in front of their face, like right up to the camera when they go, oh, and they're prompted to do something. You might not know it. That might be something you need to go and find out. But if you know what the trigger is, so it can be calendar linked. So for mine, I put a big trigger for my startup guys is that, they've suddenly had this thought as we're getting into the autumn. I want 2026 to be the year that my business kind of works or starts, or so it is that new year flip flop over that I think will be a trigger for some of them to go and find some help. They may have done 9 months already and not looked for help. That, oh my God, it's a new year, I want to do this differently, is very much a trigger for these guys. Okay, so that's a little bit of a check-in because that will form the kind of the support for your marketing. Then there are 3 steps to building a marketing path. We build awareness. They don't know who we are. We tell them who they are. Okay, they become aware of us. We create engagement. We start some kind of dialogue. So it's not one way, it becomes a 2-way thing. And thirdly, we nudge them into transaction. We give them that final poke. So Sue, you can take fundraisers and run this path and it will still work in a similar way.
Sure.
So building awareness, you want to put bullseye messages, really clear messages about what specifically you're selling in the right places to get in front of their eyes so that they know you exist. Okay, because we're assuming at this point they don't. So what kind of activities do you need to do to build awareness? I'm not going to read them all out, but there's a load of examples underneath the awareness box and a few things to think about when you're doing this. So already, if you look at, okay, I want to market the startup shed. I know who I'm talking to, and I know their trigger point. So what do I want to do? Well, I think they're going to be on Instagram, small businesses starting up. So I'm going to put some messaging on there. I'll go and do some local speaking and some local networking because I will find them there. So you're always looking for putting those messages in front of their eyeballs. You've got to know where their eyeballs are going to be. Yeah. It's not where you want to hang out. I like LinkedIn. But are those tiny startups on there? Maybe. But I'm thinking it's, you could always do your research, but I'm thinking Instagram might be good. Local networking also might turn up quite a good cross section of those people. So have you want a few bullet points of ideas of how to build awareness, the activity that you're going to undertake. Um, you will then whittle that down. You might come up with 10 ideas in this session. I wouldn't suggest doing all 10 unless you want to drive yourself freaking loopy and you haven't got any client work to do because it's too much time spent doing it. You want kind of one, two, maybe three real key activities. Now, each time you jot down some ideas for each of these three stages in the path, use some creative inspiration. Otherwise, you're just going to come up with all the ideas you've come up with before. So, for example, I looked at the clock, which is down on that left-hand panel of creative inspiration. So I'm thinking, well, how would a clock help me build awareness? Actually, I could do a sort of 60-second startup videos that I can put out on my socials. It's really short, snappy stuff that takes real bite-sized bits of the program, put that out on video. Hadn't thought about that before until I used the clock to prompt some different thinking. So use those creative prompts, dive in and see what they come up with to help you. Then you want some engagement ideas. Engagement is all about opening up a dialogue rather than you shouting into the void, which is how I describe, kind of awareness building. I'm here, and tumbleweed might go across. You're now saying, you've noticed me, you're aware of me. I'm going to prove to you how great I am. This is my expertise, and giving them a bit more information and making that a dialogue. If you can get these people in your audience to reach out and touch something you are putting down, can't make that sound any less vulgar than it is. Great. If you can get them to stretch out into your territory and go, oh, I'll have that free download. Well, I'll engage with you on LinkedIn. You're there. You're engaging with them. You've moved them along. You're now in the middle of your marketing path. So there's loads of activities you can do there. So for my startup shed, thinking, oh, I could do a startup shed sampler session where I get people in the Zoom room. I could email all my old startup shedders and ask them for referrals. It's woefully underused in marketing, all the people we've ever worked for before. Yeah. Um, I could run an Ask Me Anything. My DMs are open all day on this day for any startup who wants to ask me a question. These are all designed to start a conversation. That's it. I'm not selling them anything at this stage. I'm just opening up, creating that dialogue. Then I went to Lego and I said, okay, well, what would Lego do? How would Lego help me create that engagement? Well, actually, I could create a little email nurture sequence of a mini kit of startup shed nuggets that people could sign up for to help them get a flavour of what I'm selling. So jot down a few engagement ideas. And then finally, a nudge into transaction. What are the tactical nudges that persuade them to buy now? Because I think we've all had clients go, I love what you do, really love it, I really love it. So great, I cannot wait to work with you. And then 6 months rolls by, nothing. And they're like, no, I'm doing. So if we can create a little bit, not necessarily of urgency, but that little tactical nudge that moves them from I love it, but I'm not committing to I am all in. I was gonna say open my checkbook. I'm so fucking old, it's unbelievable. Open up my backs, ping over a PayPal. I don't know. If we can get them there, the quicker we can get them there, the better, obviously. So um, you know, some of this will be dependent entirely on how you run your business and how you like your branding, because discounts are a brand decision at the end of the day. The whole Apple, kind of don't really discount stuff because, they're up their own asses. All I say on things like this is, as business owners, we hate all this stuff. I don't want to give a discount. I don't want to bundle up my offers. I don't want to do anything because it eats into my profits. Put your customer hat on. What do you love the most? A bloody discount, a bloody bundle. So it depends on which side of the fence we stand as to how we feel appropriate these are. It's entirely your choice. So early bird offers, discounts, seasonal sort of promos, stuff like that, free gifts, but it doesn't have to be. Could be the nudge is an absolute zinger of a testimonial that you send them over. Just in case you're interested, this is what the last person said he bought that. That could be all it takes, that social proof to get people over the line. So, have a think about that final nudge. So I put here as examples of my startup shed places. Actually, why don't I incentivize everyone to apply? Because you have to apply for a seat. Because then I could get everyone who applies, I could give them a little, free startup shed download. I'm definitely going to use testimonials. And then I looked at kind of a creative prompt of being surprising. What would be surprising as a nudge? A full money back guarantee if you're not satisfied at the end of the program. So that is a marketing path in a nutshell. Think about a specific thing you want to talk about and to market. You might have packages, or it might be that you're a broad church of, well, I'll do, like Glenn, you might not have packages, but specifically you say, well, I can write words for you, any kind of words. It might be that you want to create a sort of, a package focus and talk about a specific thing to help people get their heads around what you can be used for. So it could be blogs, or it could be, I'm going to be sick in my mouth, thought leadership copy, whatever, however you phrase that. Pick something specific. Don't try and market your entire business. Think about one or two absolute zingery kind of building awareness activities. Use some examples, use the creative prompts, create engagement, create a nudge transaction. You've got your 3 steps that you now know you need to execute to get people through. Okay, I'm going to give you kind of 10 minutes to work on that, come up with some ideas. If you feel stuck, that's what I'm here for. Unmute, ask questions. If you're not sure, if I've written this down, what do you think? All that, love to hear it all. Otherwise, I should just be here glaring at you down the Zoom camera. All right. Now on to our strategy circle. Looks like that for the visitors. Members, crack on. You know what the score is. Refer back to your marketing paths. There's actions on there you'll probably need to carry through if you want to do any of that in the next sort of month. A couple of notices, and then you will be free to wander off out of the shed. Visitors, you may not know this, or you may be fully aware that every visitor in Visitor VIP month gets put into a draw. So by the end of the month, I will pluck someone out of the wheelbarrow and you'll get an hour with me. I mean, some people might call it a booby prize, but there you go. You don't have to take it. You can pass it on to someone else. So I will let you know on that front if you are I nearly said lucky plucker. That's me. I'm the plucker. You're the plucky. Lucky plucky. And members, anyone who has been responsible for bringing visitors along this month also gets a different wheelbarrow, but you also win an hour, one of you, a shed 60. So it's not too late to invite people along. That's all I'm saying. Right. As members who've been here for more than 11 months know, as we tip into October sheds, we get into our new year planning. The 2026 Shed Growth Strategy Pack has arrived. By arrived, I mean, say I've made them all. So, members, this will be coming through your letterbox next month. Okay. It's pretty much all there. It's hand illustrated A3 worksheets. It's colouring pens because we want a bloody monochrome strategy. It's post-it notes. It's a tiny tin with something secret in it. It's all going to help us get super creative about making next year what we want it to be in our business. Okay. It's not about all becoming trillionaires and having 30 staff. I could not think of anything worse. Well, I could think of worse things than being a trillionaire. I couldn't think of anything worse than having 30 staff. But it's about growth on your terms and planning that in a really creative way. So we are going to be working on that October through to Christmas. So we can break at Christmas, be smug bastards, because we know exactly what we're doing next year. Okay. The logistics of this if you have moved house in the last 12 months and not told me, please do let me know, because you only get one. So if it goes to your old house, that's on you. So please do let me know if you think I might not have your updated address. Okay. So and visitors, obviously, if you join, you will be part of the merry gang that gets one, and that will be our focus. We'll still do our monthly planning, so we keep our business rolling, but we're going to have eyes on next year. So we have a nice long run in to getting creative and really thinking deeply about what we want to do. Um, Thanks, Vic. Right, is there anything else? I think that's it. Oh, co-work shed, people. Let's get back into the co-work groove after the summer. Wednesday, the 24th of September at noon. Members, you know what it is. It's a co-work shed. Open the door, you come in, we work for an hour, you leave. Again, feel very smart because you've done 1 hour of super focused, productive work. Okay. Have a great month, people.
Thank you
Thank you,
so much,
Jodie.
Jodie. It was